Kathleen Taylor, social worker manager, who's going to introduce Emily Apian. Did I get that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm not going to try it again. Well, thank you for coming, and we welcome you.
Thanks.
Is this your first time on here?
No, ma'am. This is my second time.
Oh, okay. You're a pro then. Okay, so what are we going to...
What are we going to say about Emily, huh?
Yeah.
Well, Emily was our intern last year. So in her second year of graduate school, she came to Green Spring to do what we call a field placement or internship. And that's where the social worker learns how to do their craft once they graduate and proceed on to getting a job. And we were lucky enough to be able to convince her that she wanted to stay. And so we happened to have a person who had left a position in Garden Ridge, so we got her over there, and we're really happy. So this is her official first week.
Oh.
So she's just learning the ropes. And because her internship was in independent living, this is a little bit different for her to be in Garden Ridge, but she's seeing people that she knew from independent living who, you know, we know with rehab, sometimes people will be in the hospital and then they'll go to Garden Ridge for a rehab stay before they come back home. So there's that nice continuity for people that, you know, you can see familiar faces too. So anyhow, so she's fitting in well.
Well, good. Do you like it?
Yes, ma'am. It's a great opportunity. It like Kathleen said, there are a lot of familiar faces, but there are also new faces, and it's a different area of Green Spring with different opportunities, different challenges, and I'm excited to be there and to learn those new things. And really, so far, so good. Looking forward to a bright future.
Well, you're dealing with people who want to get the heck out of there. And that can't be easy.
To be frank, yes.
Yeah. I know my husband, you know, the minute they wheeled him in, he's talking about getting out.
Well, that's the goal, you know, to get you better so you can be wherever is the best place for you. So definitely where I am is not to keep you there indefinitely. So.
Yeah, but it feels like it at times.
That's right. That's right. I usually tell people it takes longer than you want it to take, but not as long as you're afraid it's going to take to get the discharge. So people like are afraid that they're never going to get out, I think, a lot of times, and then, you know, but it does drag sometimes too in terms of doing the rehab and all of that.
Yeah, all the weekends are terrible because that's when they do nothing.
Yeah, you feel like you're just sitting there waiting then,
yeah.
Right? That's when we want families to come visit and friends to come visit and distract the person.
Yeah, it would be nice, but, you know, they have soccer games to go to for the kids, and, you know, they have their life.
Yeah, but they usually have activities on the weekend, too. But I find for the rehab folks that they're kind of wiped out because they're doing therapy up to 6 days a week.
Yeah, they're busy.
Yeah, so by the time that they have that break, they're ready to just kind of relax and take naps and maybe watch a little TV or read a book or something. So I think it works out. You have to kind of, part of the process is the recuperation and the healing, so it's okay to take a lot of naps.
Yeah.
We give people
Sleep
permission.
your time away.
Well, when you're not working out or eating, I think that's probably as good a way to spend your time as any.
Yeah. Well, I walked.
When you were there, were you there?
Yeah, I had, what did I have? I forget now. But I was mobile.
Yeah.
And that makes a big difference.
It does make a big difference.
Yeah.
You don't feel like you're trapped then.
No.
Yeah. So you just kept moving. How long were you there for?
I think I was there for just a week or so.
Oh, okay. So
I can't think of why I was there.
Yeah.
I want to put it out of my mind.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I was there a lot with my husband, though.
Right. Yeah, I know. So, you know, the social work role on the rehab floor is really, we're here to provide support for people because it is emotionally difficult sometimes for the resident, for their spouse, for the family. So we try to spend time just talking them through kind of what to expect while they're there. And then the discharge planning is what social work is there for, primarily to help people to plan for the next step once they're done with their rehab. So for our residents that live in independent living, ideally, they're going to get back to their independent living apartment, and we'll help put in place services that they might need, whether it's some certified home health to continue their rehab, or they need nursing to come out. Sometimes people might need a little bit of personal care with a private duty aid, that sort of thing. So we try to help them put services in place that they might need to be successful when they come back home. And then sometimes there's a transition period that occurs, if you had a lot of medical problems and you're starting to really kind of not be able to stay in independent living and have a good quality of life, then we might talk to people about the benefits of transitioning to continuing care, to either assisted living or a nursing floor, to have more support all in one place for that person. So that's sort of what we're there for in a nutshell.
Yeah, well, my big, I won't go to the hospital, and I won't go to Garden Ridge unless I'm half dead.
Yeah.
Because, all these germs that, which they're there, there's no doubt about it.
Yep.
So I figure I'm better off just dying in my...
You're not alone in thinking that way, I guarantee it. Yeah. So, but sometimes against their will, people end up in Garden Ridge, and then we try to get them over the hump a little bit in terms of realizing that I think that the perception is it's a scary place, and so we do have to overcome those perceptions to a degree. Spend time just reassuring people and helping them to understand that there are good people there that are ready to help them, the nursing staff, the therapists, social workers, physicians, nurse practitioners, everybody's there to help them. So, and I think mostly we do a good job at winning people over.
Yeah, well, when my husband was there, morning and night, I would have bleach and water and I bleached and watered the bathroom. I wiped down the lunch thing,
Uh-huh.
And
you're a germaphobe, huh?
No, it's just that
you do hear that there's like a lot of potential for getting kind of bad bugs.
But he ended up with, you had to put everything
he ended up
on, and I figure, well, there goes my bleach and water.
Yeah. Well, you did what you could, right?
Yeah. I tried.
Yeah. So I have a question for Emily. Okay. So what's the best thing so far about being over in Garden Ridge working with the residents?
I think it's definitely the residents. I think being there, being able to work with the residents, and everybody sort of is in a different situation. They're often coming from very different places, whether it's their diagnosis, where they are, where they're coming from. Being able to work with them and work with the team together to help them to go forward and make improvements, and being able to help them solve problems, whatever those problems may be, because everybody's problems are different.
Yep.
And everybody's tools to solve those problems are also different. So I've really enjoyed that. I've met some really fascinating people, both residents and staff, and I look forward to doing that.
Yep, and families too.
And families also, absolutely.
Because we usually have a lot of family involvement when somebody's at Garden Ridge, so that adds to it as well.
Yes.
But definitely, yeah. That was a good answer, wasn't it?
That sure was. I don't know, but it's I don't know if I'd have the patience for that. It just that's.
You would, yeah. Didn't you do some visits over in Garden Ridge at one point?
We used to. Well, we used to when our parishioners from church. Jerry was the deacon,
right?
And we would go in and in the Eastern Rite. We're Catholic, but Eastern, and he'd have prayers, and it would take 15 minutes, and everybody wanted him to go into their room because they wanted to have even the Catholics,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and even the Protestants was it. Well, could he come to my room? And I
Yeah.
said, no, he can't.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we have a lot of different denominations.
So, but every
that are-
Sunday we
yeah.
would go there, and there was always somebody there, or somebody, and the Catholic community that were friends of us, that we'd go to them because they understood, you know, that it was okay.
Right, right.
And
Yeah.
we didn't want, you know, the Latin Rite getting perturbed that we were infringing
Oh,
on
yeah.
anybody. You know.
Yeah, but definitely there's a lot of different representations from the faith groups, and I know that that makes a big difference for the residents
Yeah.
too.
But my husband thought that, you know, when we went to church on Sunday, you know, him being a deacon, go twice, and he said, I have to go on Sunday because I'm bringing, you know, communion
Mm-hmm.
from the service and from the church, and they feel more in tune, and they feel it's Sunday, you know, Sunday, this is church day.
Yeah,
And
that's a good thing.
yeah,
Absolutely. So what other questions do you think that people that are watching might have about Garden Ridge that we should talk about?
well, we don't have much time to talk, but
Uh-oh, how much time do we have?
I think maybe a minute.
Okay, we have one question then that we could maybe answer for somebody.
I
I have one.
Oh,
I have
okay.
a thought because I think a lot of times people ask about if they have a friend who's at Garden Ridge, you know, how can they help? And I think I would just encourage people to visit. You know, I've been working over there lately to get Emily up to speed, and I do see a lot of people from independent living that are visiting their friends that are
Yeah.
over there. But you know, it's a great thing. It's really, you know, everybody appreciates that so much.
right.
So I would say, and I know that there's always a little, I don't know, but people are not comfortable in that setting necessarily. But you know, that friendship is really, really important for people.
Yeah.
So I would say if there's anything that you are thinking about wanting to do for somebody, you know, just drop by for a few minutes. It doesn't have to be very long because really it shouldn't even be that long.
Yeah,
'cause
and
people
even you just check the scroll, and if any of your neighbors, just go visit your neighbor.
yeah, just pop in for a few minutes because
Yeah.
nobody
You're
has
not
the expectation,
No big thing.
right, that it's going to be a long time.
Yeah.
But just sort of a pop in and say hello. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I do that. I'll go see someone, you know, and then end up knowing about 2 or 3 more down the, you know.
Exactly. How good is that? That's
Yeah,
great.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming over then.
Oh yeah, I don't mind. Eventually I'll probably get over there to work. You know,
Good.
but
We'll welcome you.
One more familiar face for me.
Yeah.
yeah, well, yeah, yeah. So, well, I gotta wrap this up,
Sure.
and I thank you for coming. And
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no, it was neat. I like talking about Garden Ridge. So today is special programming. Channel 6 today, 2 and 8 p.m. Sports. Weekend Deja VIMs Saturday and Sunday from 9:30 to noon. Video Time Machine. The Constitutional Amendments, September 26, 2011. Sunday, 4 to 7 p.m. Monday on VIM. DAR and Greening Green Spring. That was kind of tricky. Spotlight on History. Monday features. Reading the Constitution, 2 and 8 p.m. Catholic Mass, 5 and 9 p.m. And I'm going to sign off for now, and I just want to say, please don't touch your remote, because we've got great parks coming, and he has a faithful following. So why don't you see what other people like about him? Okay, and thank you for coming.